Hello, this is Di Antinatalist, and I was on Facebook today and just reading a few things. So this video is captions that are stolen from Facebook, but they were just too good to not share with you. And I found this particular filter, and I really like this today. I don't like black and white so much, but you know, when I was starting the video with the colored filter, I look like my mom. I look like my mom when she was about 48. So I did not want to see my aging mom's look on this video. So, yeah, I don't like seeing features of my family as they aged. And the older I get, I see my grandmother's look also, but particularly my mom's, and I don't like that. But anyway, so today, one of my Facebook group friends and contributors, we were talking about natalists and the way that they justify bringing people into the world, you know, having children. And they'll say something like, you know, there's a lot of good things about life. Or, you know, you wouldn't have, if nobody existed, there would be no pleasure. And, or they'll say, but if we never were born, we could never go on a vacation. So, this is his remark. At the moment of an agonizing death, nobody is feeling gratitude for having lived, only the excruciating pain and terror of dying horribly. And that is very true. I've had relatives who had strokes and they lingered for 8 to 10 years. And they are put on more medications and drugs to prevent more strokes. And, you know, it just preserves them in the condition that they were without use of, you know, the limbs or hearing or speech. You know, it just leaves them dysfunctional and disabled and incontinent. And so there was another thing that I wanted to go over, and I really, really like this one. And this is stolen from somebody. I shared a post, and I don't even know where I originally got it, and, you know, it didn't even have a name on it. I guess it was just created. It was kind of like a meme, and so anyway, it goes through the experiences of life and non-existence, and it chronicles life and its pains, hardships, and struggles, and its pleasures. Now, I will warn you, the tragedies and hardships and struggles comprise a way bigger percentage, as you may all expect. Okay, so here we go. Life. Sickness, hunger, thirst, violence, physical harm, accidents, pain, taxes, expenses, and financial drain, poverty, inequality, racism, religious hatred, misogyny, sexism, violence against animals and slaughtering, destruction of natural environment, old age and decline, infant and child mortality, religious oppression, child abuse, sexual abuse, divorce and faulty relationships, competition for limited resources, competition for work, unemployment. And I could even add some more. I mean, gosh, let's add frustration, boredom, fatigue, depression, um, um, exposure to natural disasters like floods and hurricanes and earthquakes, wildfires, those types of acts of God, as well as male violence. And let's see. I didn't specifically say disease, but it did say sickness. Okay, so that was a chunk of items, wasn't it, that life exposes us to. Now, here are the pleasurable items from life that we possibly would miss out on if we were not placed into existence. Sexual and physical pleasure, but it is dependent and aggressive, often shaping negative social structures. Now, I'm going to have to think about that. I didn't get that the first time around. Dependent and aggressive, often shaping negative social structures. Okay, pleasure from eating. But eating is a limited resource, and the pleasure of eating, depending on what you eat, is not pleasure for eating a substance that comes from an animal product, be it milk, dairy, cow milk, mammal milk, or meat, the flesh. So if you partake of meat or dairy or eggs that weren't, laid by a free roaming chicken, then you are contributing to their pain. So I don't know if that's considered pleasure, but I guess it could be considered people pleasure. Okay. Pleasure from sleeping. Now, that's pretty ironic, isn't it? Pleasure from sleeping because we're in an unconscious state. Okay. Just got off my page here. And then enjoyment of beauty. And, that's relative. I mean, we can go outside and see a beautiful sunset and some pretty flowers, and that's pretty limited in the scope of our day. In the scope of things, the fact that we see a sunset or, flowers or, some wildlife in the backyard, that's not going to erase pain and poverty, chronic pain, work stress, frustration, fighting with your children or sibling rivalry. No, seeing those, you know what, that really bothers me because, I'll talk about antinatalism to somebody and they'll say, well, what about, the nice things about life? What about, the ocean or going to the beach or, the sunrise? Oh, how ridiculous. So the sunrise, the sunset, that's like 35 minutes, if that. And, the preparation for the day, the hygiene that we all have to go through just to get out the door. And then, whether it's driving to work, being at work, going to pick up the mail, taking the kids to a specialist, an allergy specialist, or, the cat to a vet, and paying taxes and paying bills and buying more stamps and, you know, paying for your cable bill and making sure everything is in order just so you can live the day. Every waking moment is full of expenditures of work and energy. So that was a summary of life, and it's a good summary, a collective summary. And so, non existence, there is nothing to non existence, there is no pain. So, non existence is non existence. There is no pain, no pleasure, but it is far greater to have had no pain or no pleasure. So, in summary, the fact that people reproduce, they are bringing harm into existence. If nobody was ever born, nobody would have ever been harmed. And it's just that simple. I don't know why people can't understand the fact, the simple fact, that no matter how much enjoyment you could possibly have, I mean, you may be able to buy, you know, a beach house, or you may be able to travel and write, or, you know, paint or build things. But the pain and the tragedy, the setbacks, the frustrations, the cost of living, the anguish, it's just not worth it. So thank you for watching my video, and please click on the bell notification and you will get my upcoming videos. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe.